Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to take a look at a second of the cars from the most recent December free update 1.27, which is this Ferrari Vision Gran Turismo, which I'm sure for a lot of you is the one you've been looking forward to. It's an absolutely crazy, well, concept car that's been added to the game. This Ferrari Vision Gran Turismo was actually gifted to me for getting the first question in the viewers' campaign correct, so we've got this absolutely free, which is good. At the moment, I think the only way to get hold of it is if you got that question correct and got gifted it. It's not currently in Brand Central at the time of recording this video, but it may very well be there by the time you're seeing this, and if not, it will eventually be added here, I believe, for the usual price of 1,000,000 credits, which I believe is what all of the Vision cars cost in Gran Turismo. As for the other cars in the update, I've already taken a look at the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAM, so make sure to go and check out that video if you haven't already. And I will very soon be taking a better look at this returning Toyota Celica Rally Car. So those are the three I'm most interested in, so I'll definitely be taking a look at those. As for the other two, I will potentially take a look at this Chevrolet Corvette, which, along with the other cars we've just spoken about, is also quite reasonably priced, if you guys would like me to. And the same goes for the Chiron, although it is considerably more expensive. Neither of them are cars I'm as interested in as the other three, but I would consider taking a look at them if that would be what you guys would be interested in. So, for some reason, Ferrari being Ferrari have decided when you drive this car, your character will always be wearing a Ferrari race suit instead of your normal race suit. Anyway, just a bit of an odd thing that they've done, but Ferrari are known for being quite picky about silly things like that. Anyway, being a Vision Gran Turismo car, this is of course an insane concept, far from reality, at least at the moment. It does, though, potentially give us some idea what kind of styling future Ferrari hypercars and racing cars might follow. So the LaFerrari replacement, which is rumoured to be coming soon, may potentially look something like this, obviously more or road legalified. The concept itself is actually a single-seater race car, making it kind of somewhere between an F1 and Le Mans hypercar, although, of course, a concept. It is somewhat inspired by Ferrari's 60s and 70s sports prototypes, but kind of futuristic-er. The virtual Ferrari does, however, share, virtually speaking, the engine from the real-life 499P, Ferrari's actual Le Mans hypercar entry, except more extremely tuned, partly because it's a game, so you don't have to be kind of governed by the laws of physics, and also because it's not going to be entering a race series, so there's no regulations to worry about. So it's sort of a faster, virtualer, futuristic, not regulationified version of that. It does mean, though, that this car produces a massive 1,363 horsepower, but it does weigh 1,250 kilos, so it's not exactly light, but given it has all of that power, it does mean it's still overall rated at 938.8 performance points, which is quite a lot. I do want to quickly, as well, show you, well, a brief glimpse of the interior view, because, well, it looks like this. So, rather unsurprisingly, being a Vision Gran Turismo concept car, there's absolutely nothing you can do with it. You can change the wheels and change the colour. There's of course no wide body, but there's no custom parts and no racing items either. The wheels I'm not going to change because, well, they fit the car, basically. But I will quickly go and buy some Ferrari paint colours to see if we can make it a bit less kind of grey and boring. So, unfortunately, because it sort of had a livery on it, by painting it, we're removing that. I'm not actually intending on painting it pink, it's just when you open up real car paint, pink's always at the top, but it looks kind of incredible. I'm surprised it lets you do this. Ferrari would not be happy if I painted it. What even is that? Roof magenta, I think. Anyway. So, I already had quite a lot of Ferrari colours. We've got a sort of, well, brown. We've got Rosso Mugello, Rosso Fiorano, which actually looks incredible on here. It's kind of almost a shame we've been gifted it, because if you buy it from Brand Central, when it arrives there, you'll probably get to choose the colour. But I do find it kind of interesting they've given us a grey one, because Ferrari being Ferrari, I'd have thought it would just be Rosso Corsa, because everything is. So that's an interesting choice. But anyway, yeah, we could go and paint it red, but I feel like that's a little bit boring, especially as it wasn't even really given to us in red. We've got sort of orange in the form of Rosso Dino. Giallo, I think, looks incredible, so I'll probably just do that. But there's also Verde Blenheim, Tour de France Blue, which is always a really good call. But I feel like on something this crazy, a bright yellow might look the best. Nart Blue does look good, as do these, and then these are kind of similar to what we had, apart from that's just too bright, I think. Do you know what? As incredible as yellow looks, and as much as I feel all Ferraris should be yellow, blue Nart just looks incredible, and it is, well, a heritage racing colour, essentially, because it's North American racing team blue. So I think on a Vision Racing concept car thing, given it's one of those, and given it looks incredible in blue, I'm going to do that. I have, though, just discovered that you can paint, well, the other part of the colours lets you paint this section. So I think, I mean, there's a lot of colours going on, because there's kind of red accents around the place. I think I'm going to go for the Giallo on that. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wow, you can do part of the wheels as well. I'm not sure how I feel about that. No, I'm going to leave that. I think that's a bit too far. So, just like with the customization, this being a Vision car, there's not really anything you can do in the tuning shop. You can put road tyres on it if you really want to, and power restrictor, which might be useful for tuning, but most of the parts are just not applicable or purchased, which is weird because they haven't been. They were just already on it. Anyway, yeah, you basically can't do anything. What I am going to do is put a set of racing softs on, because that will improve it a little bit, so then we've got the option of either of those if we go and take it for a race, and yeah, there's not really a lot here. What I was hoping to do with it was enter it into the Vision Gran Turismo series at any circuit, really. Although, even if I put the tyres back to the racing mediums, it's still too high rated to be allowed in. So I might have to put a power restrictor on and make it, well, worse. So, well, it turns out even with putting it back on the racing mediums, or reducing these outputs from the power restrictor and the ECU as low as they go, it's still too high performance points. So short of putting it on racing hards, which I don't think is going to make 25 performance points difference, essentially, the only way to do it is to put it on comfort tyres, which is just stupid. So I'm not going to be, well, sports, but I'm not going to be doing that. But it means the Vision Gran Turismo series doesn't allow some Vision Gran Turismo cars, so this car is even more useless than most of the Vision Gran Turismo cars, which are only useful for that one series in the first place. So, yeah, there's not really much you can do with this car, it turns out. So, after a little bit of digging around in the world map for events, I've found some Group 1 Prototype Series races to enter this not a Group 1 prototype into. But it seems to think a lot of your competition will be Vision Gran Turismo vehicles, so this is maybe the one to do, because we're one performance point below the recommended number, or the allowed number, and, well, it's quite a good money earner by the look of it. It's 10 laps long, but hopefully all goes to plan. Let's go for the Fuji one. So here we go then, 10 laps around Fuji in the Vision Gran Turismo Ferrari. Brakes so much later than real life Le Mans cars. Although these of course are old Le Mans cars now. It may take some getting used to. I'm not really used to racing cars this fast. I know I drove this car a minute ago, but not in a racing scenario. Oh god. I'm very sorry, Mr. Toyota. was so much faster than everything else on the straight. I'm not sure a mixture of Group 1 cars, Group C cars and Vision cars is really a fair race, but anyway. How can I brake that late and still make it? I appear to be running out of fuel. I have to run it in a leaner mix, because I only want to refuel once. That, though, that we've just been past is the Bugatti, and that's a really good example of a Vision car showing what future, well, production cars from that manufacturer will look like. Because that, I don't know how well you can see it now that we've driven this far away, but that came out long before the Chiron was unveiled. Oh. And, yeah, so the Veyron was their current car when this Vision appeared. And then obviously the Chiron came out looking quite like that. Just less kind of racing car-ish. So imagine this with sort of, without all the aero and wings, and with like road car lights. Anyway, I'm losing positions going on about that, so... I don't know what I'm doing, I'm driving all over the place. I am, though, I think, going to have to pit. So I'm going to risk not changing the tyres. I think that'll work. I am hoping, though, we can make 4 laps of fuel last 5 laps. Oh, right. I should have changed those tyres. That's... right? Okay, let's try it again with some strategy. I'm going to put the fuel mix a little bit leaner. Then hopefully after lap 5, we can pit and change the tyres as well as refueling. I wasn't prepared for having to use strategy. That was ambitious. Oh, what are you doing? I am beginning to wonder if maybe I should have put the medium tyres on, because the softs are just... well, they're wearing out already at the end of lap 3. I think I'm going to have to pit now. The tyres are just too gone. I will, though, put on mediums for the second half, I think. And then just refuel as much as we can. Hopefully, it'll last till the end of the race. What? I think a car just coming out of the pits did that. This isn't going very well. The mediums have, like, no grip. I came out in about 17th, 16th, I think. I've lost 2 places. And now I've got a penalty. And then that happens because the penalty serving bit's on the straight. Whoops. Well, I'm back into the top 10 again. Only a couple of laps left. Although I know that AI are a bit stupid, so they'll just... I'm hoping some of the ones in front will still pit on the last lap or two, because they sometimes do that sort of thing on here. Yeah, I think partly down to bad strategy. I've run out of fuel. That's not what I was going to say. I think finishing 7th, although I'm not going to. Thanks for the push, mate. Yeah. It's not gone very well. We might still get 8th. Come on. 9th. But yeah, partly down to my bad strategizing. I mean, we're in a Ferrari. That kind of goes with driving one of these. So I suppose that makes sense. But yeah, I kind of feel like an actual racing car, Group C or Group 1 prototype, would have performed better. This, I think because of its weight and all-wheel driveness and stuff, it did tend to understeer a bit, particularly at lower speeds, and that was exaggerated on bad tyres. So I think, yeah, really these are better to be done in an actual racing car, not a Vision car. Which is probably true for all of them, to be fair. It's not just this car's problem, but yeah, that's a kind of general problem, I think, with Vision Gran Turismo cars, which is probably why I don't drive them very often or have very many. I think this is the... well, I was gifted this one, actually, but this is the first one that I would have bought, because it's, well, quite different and quite interesting, I think. So yeah, it is quite an interesting car. If you got gifted it, good, give it a try. I probably wouldn't recommend spending 1 million credits on it, though, once it is there, unless you particularly like it. It's not great, I don't think, although, yeah, like I say, that might be down to my strategy and my tyre choice, but yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be great. So it's a mad looking car. I do kind of still really like it, but I'm probably not actually going to ever use it again, which is a little bit of a shame. But anyway, there we go. Do let me know what you think of the Ferrari Vision Gran Turismo, whether you've driven it or not. What do you think of how it looks if you haven't driven it? I think it's a pretty insane, quite mad thing, which is kind of the point of a Vision car. But anyway, yeah, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.